Hi again everyone, Scott Pyre, Popcorn fan here, and in this video I thought that with the anticipation of the release of Fantastic Beasts Secrets of Dumbledore, I want to do a ranking all of the Harry Potter films and all of the Fantastic Beasts films. Well, I mean, there's just two of those, but I wanted to rank all of these films, and so it might be a bit of a hard ranking for me to do because I love all these films, probably with the exception of Crimes of Grindelwald, and that's probably my least favorite. So let's just go ahead and start talking about that, because, see, Crimes of Grindelwald, I just feel like that film just suffered the most with the writing and the way that movie was structured. I mean, granted though, I did still enjoy Crimes of Grindelwald. I think all of the acting for the most part is really good, and it's an enjoyable film from beginning to end. So it's just, the story, probably one of the more lackluster stories, just with the way the film was structured. So, oh yeah, that's Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, and then probably I'd rank Half Blood Prince. Granted, I do love that film. I have some fond memories of Half Blood Prince, but yeah, if I had to pick my least favorite Harry Potter film, it's probably that one, just mainly because of the lighter tone that it has throughout the first and second acts of the film, and just have it not feeling quite, like it's just not the lighter tone, and also just the whole, like, continuing romantic relations between all the characters. In Half Blood Prince just kind of make it one of the weaker Harry Potter films for me. But yes, and then also I think my next one would probably be the, let's see, oh, this is hard. Probably, I guess the first Fantastic Beasts. That one's an enjoyable film too. It's a movie that does a decent enough job with how, you get Newt, and he's always collecting his creatures as they, get escape his little suitcase, and all that's really fun. I really enjoy it for the first Fantastic Beasts film, but it is a little bit forgettable. I think the villain in that movie, he's a very forgettable villain, at least until the very end when it's revealed that he's Grindelwald in disguise with Polyjuice Potion. But other than that, it is an enjoyable film, but it is one of my more least favorite films in the entire series. So yeah, there's that one. And then I guess, like, here on out though, like, all these other films I love, but I guess, let's see, maybe Order of the Phoenix. Granted, that movie, in my opinion, is very underrated. I love that film. Order of the Phoenix is, to me, like, it's a really great film, and I think David Yates did a very good job being the first Harry Potter film that he directed, and he's been directing all the Harry Potter films ever since Order of the Phoenix, and I think he did a really great job with that film. It's just, I don't know, I guess I just didn't really like Umbridge. But yeah, there's that. So, Order of the Phoenix, and then probably Goblet of Fire. I'd probably rank that one next. Goblet of Fire, like I've said before, I mean, I love Goblet of Fire. I have a lot of fond memories watching that film, especially with my friend Sean. He has a lot of the same opinions as I do about Goblet of Fire, and it's a really good film. I do think it's a good film, but the way it's structured is a little bit awkward. Just yeah, like, with the story, the way that movie is paced, it's just a little bit interesting, but not in a good way with the way it's structured. So that's Goblet of Fire, and then probably, let's see, I guess Deathly Hallows Part 1 will be my next ranking. Deathly Hallows Part 1, it's a good film, but you're away from the main characters, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they're away from Hogwarts. They're running away from all the Death Eaters and Voldemort himself. So it's kind of a road trip film, and it just doesn't have that same kind of feel. Like if it's kind of like the outsider of the entire franchise next to the first Fantastic Beasts film, because we don't go to Hogwarts at all in Deathly Hallows Part One. So there's that one. Deathly Hallows Part One. I do enjoy it, though. It's a really good film. And then I guess probably, oof. Let's see, probably, like these other, the rest of the films are all films that I love. I don't have any flaws with any of them. So I guess probably the original film, Sorcerer's Stone. That's a great film. So that's my next ranking. The original film, Sorcerer's Stone, it's a movie that I love. It's a movie I rewatch a lot, as well as the second film, which is the next one on my ranking, Chamber of Secrets. That's also a great film, and I just like how, even though Chamber of Secrets does have a similar kind of thematic storytelling as the first film, especially with the director Chris Columbus directing both films. The Chamber of Secrets feels very similar to the Sorcerer's Stone, but both movies I think are great, and I love them both. And then my top films that I love the most are Prisoner of Azkaban, probably the movie that I think stylistically looks beautiful. I think Alfonso Cuarón, I think he's the director. He did such an amazing job with his direction with that film, Prisoner of Azkaban. I think it's definitely a great film. I think the Dementors are probably the most creepiest magical creatures within the Wizarding world, and just with what they did with Sirius Black and all of that, I thought was great. So yeah, my number one, you guys have probably guessed by now, it's Deathly Hallows Part Two. Deathly Hallows Part Two. It's definitely the film that really just redefined conclusive finales for a franchise, and it's probably the Harry Potter film that I just love the most, just because of what it did for the character of Snape, and also just hammering home just how far reaching Harry Potter is as a brand. It's just a massive franchise, and Deathly Hallows Part 2, it just brings back all the magic, and you get to that final Battle of Hogwarts, and it's just really fun to watch. The conflict between Harry and Voldemort, it's easily my favorite moment in the entire franchise. Yeah, so Deathly Hallows Part 2, it's my favorite film in the entire franchise. Did I miss any of them? I don't think so. No, I'm good. But yeah, that's my ranking for all the Harry Potter films and the two Fantastic Beasts films. So that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your rankings are for all these movies. So yeah, Secrets of Dumbledore comes out next month, and I cannot wait. And also Hogwarts Legacy coming out later at the end of this year. I'm super excited for that. I've heard that Hogwarts Legacy takes place in 1890, so about like 30 years before the events of the first Fantastic Beasts film. It's a prequel, and I'm really, really excited for that game. So that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.